What's up YouTube, Redbeard's Garage, and welcome back to another video. Today we're finally getting back on the chopper build. So we got quite a bit done on the first episode. Today we're going to try to get everything with the motor lined up, put that sprocket on, and finally mount the gas tank, because last time it was just sitting on the frame. But I'm pretty excited about this build for sure. It's going to be an awesome project. I think it's going to be one of my favorites.
I think it's going to be my favorite. Well, at least when we do it to my bike. I'll be riding that thing everywhere.
Yeah, and it's been the most fun to make. I mean, the easiest. Everything's been so easy on this thing. Thanks to ECCW choppers. That guy, Dre, you've helped out a ton with this. I mean, it wouldn't have went this smoothly without, you know, all the tips he's gave us from where he built these bikes himself.
And because of him, I'm getting a nice, pretty frame like him instead of that old janky one.
Yeah, and we'll probably build that janky one later, but right now we just got too much stuff going on. And I really don't want to, I don't like bringing stuff up to you guys and then not finishing it. So we will eventually get back to that thing. But if we can start on a new frame, fresh with Lonnie, then that's what we're going to do. So we got two really nice bikes. But
the third one will be for Becca or Trey, whoever wants to ride with us.
Yeah, and we'll make it as nice as our other ones. It's just going to take a little bit more of some fabrication. So guys, without further ado, let's jump right into this thing and let's get some junk done.
Let's do it. So
we're back on this chopper build. Lord help me if I quit for 2 weeks. Everybody gripes at me for not working on a chopper build, so here it is. You can see we got the engine sitting on it, and she fits really nice. I am going to make a new spark plug wire, which video will be out in a week on how to make custom spark plug wires for any of these small engines. It doesn't interfere with anything, but just the way they're built, they're bulky and ugly, and they could cause some interference later. But I am going to have to drill some more holes in this engine plate because the front holes don't line up. This motor is meant to sit more centered on this engine plate. So I'll have to do that. I'm going to bolt down the gas tank in this episode. I got to cut a little bit off the tongue of the gas tank because the gas tank will set another inch closer to the handlebars to be real snugged up against the front. So we are going to mount the gas tank today and hopefully get everything figured out with the engine. This is our sprocket and sprocket hub. This basically bites in the center shaft of the bike wheel and sticks 3 bolt holes through, and then we can bolt this nice build aluminum 50-tooth sprocket on. And on the rotor setup, you can buy this little rotor adapter for a bicycle, and it bolts right to this 203mm rotor, and it's going to actually thread on where the old sprocket did on the wheel. So all we have to do is unbolt this wheel, take it off, and unthread the sprocket off of it, thread this on in the place of the old sprocket, and basically flip the wheel, because we want the brake to sit on this side and the sprocket on the other. So we're going to start off with that. Bam, got that wheel off there. So we have to take this sprocket off. As you can see, it spins freely backwards, so it has 2 dimples. I'm sure there's a tool for this, but I'm just going to pretty much take a flathead and a hammer and knock this puppy off. Let's see how good that works. It is moving. So we hammered on it and she's unthreaded now. Surprising.
Helps with a new bike. I bet it'd suck on the other one.
Yeah, I bet it wouldn't be able to get out. So basically there's that gear. You can see the dimples. You know, this free spins counterclockwise. So what I did was put a punch in one of those dimples and kept hammering on it, and it finally unthreaded out. So you can see the threads inside there. Now this brake rotor should thread right back onto those threads. So let's try it. Bam! What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Yeah. Woo! Should probably come off first try. Now,
the brake, it just spins.
So you can see that rotor looks really nice on there. Pretty happy with that. Shout out to ECCW choppers. That's the guy that told me about the engine plate, welding it on the bottom of the frame and everything. Dre, you're an awesome dude. Thank you a whole bunch. So now we need to put that sprocket on the other side, and we're just going to pretty much finger tighten it. We're not hammering down on nothing because we will have to adjust it in or out to get it lined up with our jack shaft. That'll probably be, we might mount the gas tank next. I don't know. Just stay tuned. You know, just stay tuned. So I'm getting this hub all ready to put on the shaft of the bike. Like I said, we're just mocking all this stuff up. It does have some sweet dice on the wheels. That adds quite a bit of power. I will be stripping all the stickers off this thing. I don't like none of them. I'm not a big fan of flames. Left like that, sir. Now we just got to fish this inside and see if it's going to fit around the shaft to Rooney Dooney. Way too big. Which, that's kind of weird because I thought he said it was, that's like way too big. That sucks. So when I was talking on the phone with the guy that built a few of these bikes, he told me to buy this set. That he said this set was actually a little bit bigger than his shaft. He had to grind it out. Well, it's way too big for ours, that's for sure. So I'm gonna have to find out. That's a big setback, huge setback, because now we're definitely not gonna be riding this bike. That's a shame, but we got other stuff to do, so who cares? We will probably go ahead and put the wheel back on just for now, just so it ain't sitting willy-nilly in the garage. But we will have to figure that out, find out what we're going to have to do about that. I'm going to mock that shaft and see if this company that sells these hubs makes the larger one. So I got to cut the nose of this tank off because it's hitting the little pipe there where the handlebars triple clamp goes into. So I'm going to take an angle grinder, cut that bad boy off, and then we can drill a hole in it, get it lined up on the frame, mark the frame, and drill our hole and do everything on the frame. Got that all drilled and looks really nice, really nice. I do need to clean the metal up a little bit on the backside. Now we got to take these stickers off and mount where the gas tank is going to mount down to the frame, and then I can drill a hole, and I actually have some thread inserts that I'm going to put in there, and it's kind of like a rivet. You rivet the threads in there, so basically it'll bolt right to the frame and look really nice. I'm getting excited. You getting excited? I didn't care. So I'm about to mount the tank to the bike. I've already drilled out a hole on the frame. Now I'm using a thread riveter. It basically, you thread that brass insert onto the end of this, and it works just like a rivet gun. You slide that down in there, get it straight as you can. This is kind of going to be a little bit of a pain because it's up high, and there's quite a bit of tension on this bad boy. Let me see if I can. Oh yeah. So now we just unthread it out of those threads, and now this gas tank should thread right into the frame. So instead of just going into the sheet metal of the pipe or the thin pipe, we actually have it biting in a full thread insert. You really need to get one of these if you're building stuff. They're really handy. First time I've ever used mine, and I gotta tell you, I love it. So I'm stuffing a rag down into the exhaust port. I'm gonna go ahead and drill this hole for the rear of the tank to mount in. Oh gosh, goodness.
Through the bottom.
All right, now I'm just gonna slide this insert into the frame. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. So that should be good.
That should be good?
Should be.
We'll see.
So you can see that's all in there. I always thread a bolt in it, move it back and forth, make sure she's tight, but it is. I'm going to be getting some nicer bolts for this gas tank too, probably Allen heads, maybe. But yeah. For the front. So I'm just making sure I get the gap right on this tank. I want it to look as level as we can. And I'm going to be putting rubber pads under here actually to dampen you know, any vibrations down. Now we're taking these front fenders off so I can cut these pegs off, because of course with the new setup we will not be needing those
At all.
This is getting me pumped.
I don't understand why they're here anyways. I mean,
yeah, no, it would never have been comfortable, like ever,
or feasible, because every time you turn.
Yeah, it don't make any sense. Keep up with all of our hardware. You got to take these little Allen heads off, and these little. Oh, can you grab that?
Somewhere.
It's right here, somewheres. Cool. All right, here. You start taking your fender. You know, these off.
Yeah.
But I am getting super pumped about this bike build. It keeps looking better and better, and Lonnie has, you know, a bike coming that it's going to be awesome. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. So what I'm doing with these, I'm just going to cut this top section off and bolt it back to the bike and get rid of this whole peg assembly. So let's get that done. So I'm going to cut this bracket, chop it all up. I'm actually going to have to put it in the opposite side of the vise to get where I need to be. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure, the way it's all set up, but you know, we can get it. So this foot pedal had some rivets in it, so I went ahead and cut those out so I can knock the pins out. I gotta unhook this spring somehow, and then I can pull the rest of this pin and get this out of my way. It's gonna be kind of a pickle. Alright, now I gotta cut this other pin out, and we should be golden. There we go. Now we got that out of our way. I can go ahead and cut this off. So see how much better that looks. Now that can bolt right back to the bike, and probably going to file it and clean it up a bit. Now it's time to do the other one, doing the same process, just cutting those rivets out on each side so I can slide them out of the center, pull this foot section out, and we'll be golden. Order and bring it up, you know?
Yeah, that looks better for sure. I think that's what I didn't like about it, is how far out.
Would work. Or another 90 right here.
That's what I do. Bring it straight out. That's something to actually put your foot on.
Let's see if it's about. You know, not this long.
Yeah, cut some off of it. You want me to sit on it?
Sure.
I'm just trying to see.
I've got it on video, so when Lonnie breaks something.
There's nothing I can possibly get done. Putting all my weight on this foot, I just want. See, that's not going to be comfortable. Look at where my knee is compared to this, and you're 3 inches taller than me.
Don't you want it up here, like at the front tire or something?
Yeah.
Have to be. I mean, I could put a section in this. Wait, sit back. What if it's right here?
Yeah, that'd be better for sure.
Alright, so I'm going to pull the torque converter up. Lonnie! I'm going to pull this torque converter off because we need to put a jack shaft on the rear of the torque converter so we can put align the sprocket when we do figure out our sprocket dilemma. So I'm going to go ahead and take this tin out.
Speaking of that, I hope they make one that fits that. You'd think they would. What? That.
Oh yeah, they do. Well, that guy's already built them. I'm going to pull all this off real quick. And then we have, where did I just put that? 4 bar. Now, we just got to take the nut off that holds this front or the rear, the driven pulley off, and slide that longer shaft in there. So let's get to taking this thing apart and proceed. Alright. So that thing is being a little bit of a pain to get off there. There we go. We got the driven pulley pulled off there. And we just got to pull the key out and the sprocket. Slide that other washer off. And slide that old shaft out of there. Okay, so this bearing on this torque converter housing is, if you can tell, the old shaft has a step down in it. So this is larger than the rest of this shaft. So we're going to need to take this bearing out, both bearings actually, and install some new bearings that fits the jack shaft. It's real tight and snug. So I'm going to get to knocking these bearings out. I'm going to try to knock them out so we can reuse them, but probably ain't going to work out like that. So I'm just going to put this probably in a vise, take a punch, and like I said, knock these bad boys out. Alright, so I'm just taking a punch and going to lay on the inner race of the bearing. You know, this could hurt the bearing, but the other one popped out pretty easy. Ooh, I don't want to hit on the... So there we go. We got those old bearings out, and they're actually in perfect shape. So I'm going to put these in a baggie and mark them. And it did have this sleeve inside. So we're probably going to go ahead and run that sleeve anyways, just to, you know, just because we can, you know what I'm saying? So let me go grab the new bearings and we'll knock them in there. So when you get these bearings, you can see it has a collar around it, or a little circlip. We're going to pop that off there if we can get it with this flathead. Hit me right in the eyeball. Probably going to need my clip removers, but I'm going to try to do it with a flathead.
Just waste time.
Yep, ain't going to work. Got this freaking go-kart frame right in the way. There we go. Got that off. Now I'm going to take it off the other bearing as well. Bam, fits perfect. It don't fit in there like super snug, but we're going to have collars riding against these. It's going to hold everything in place, so shouldn't be a problem. Now I got to pop that other circlip off there. It's kind of a pain doing this, but as Redbeard's Garage says, it ain't nothing you can't do. You know what I'm saying? So we got that one bearing in. We're going to slide that sleeving in there, and then place that other bearing. Like I said, these are not real tightly in there, but now we can put the new jack shaft in. All right, now I'm all ready to assemble the jack shaft into the backing plate. Just going to drop my bearing back in there, then my inner sleeve, and then once more my bearing. And there we go. Now I'm going to put a number 35 sprocket on this shaft because it's just acting like a spacer, so the belt will line up. So first I'm going to slide on this this keyed washer, then my sprocket, then my torque converter itself, then my other washer, and then my lock nut. I'm pretty much just going to get this lock nut snugged on there, just where I know that shaft's getting enough of a bite. Now I have these collars that I'm going to slide on here, and that's just going to keep everything spaced out the correct width, and I can tighten up this collar and hold that shaft exactly where I need it. So now I got my shaft where I need it. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up this lock collar. So now that shaft will not move in or out any, other than what little bit the bearing's moving, and we can go ahead and install this back on the engine. Now we can slide our spacer on, our rear section of our front pulley, put our flat side of our belt in towards the block. And slide that on there, and then our bolt with our keyed setting up. Looks like everything's lined up real nice. So now we'll go on the other side of the engine and see how we're going to make that jack shaft work. So on this pillow block that we put on the jack shaft, now that's not where the pillow block's going to ride. I don't know where exactly I'm going to put it until my sprocket gets here, because we did order the wrong sprocket. But I've basically got a stack of washers that'll go under each side of this pillow block. You can buy a 7/8 of an inch spacer, but my local hardware store did not have one, and I don't want to order one offline. So you can see I got a stack for each side that levels it out really nice. So what I'm going to actually do is take this stack of washers, slide it onto a bolt that is the same as the inside diameter of the washer. And I'm going to put this in a vise, and I'm going to put a bead down each side to keep these washers as pretty much a solid spacer. I know this is overkill using that much spacers, but like I said, I don't want to wait on a 7/8 of an inch spacer to get here, and I don't want to cut one out of a piece of pipe because it'd be hard to get that exact exact measurement of 7/8 of an inch. So we'll throw this in a vise, and we'll put a bead of weld down each side. So I got those washers all in a bolt in the vise. I'm going to actually take my angle grinder, I'm going to cut a notch down each side and put a bead of weld down each side. That'll just hold all those washers together, because there's like 10 of them, and I don't want to be fumbling around with 10 washers under that that pillow block. So I'm going to get the notch in this and weld these puppies together. So as you can see, I put a bead of weld on each side of those washers, so now they're pretty much just a solid spacer. So those will work perfect for putting under that pillow block. We can't really line the pillow block up right now because we are waiting on that sprocket adapter, because like an idiot I ordered the wrong one, but it's okay, it's on its way, and we should see this thing ride in the next episode. Should. Nothing else is really holding us back but waiting on that sprocket. So these are done, but like I said, we're not going to be able to use them because I don't know where everything's going to line up as of right now. So we're going to jump over to the bike now. I'm going to weld on that other swing arm bracing. If you remember, I cut another piece of steel, and since the bike was on the workbench, I couldn't get on the other side. So let's do that. So now I got to cut these little ears off where the brake used to mount, just to make the swing arm look better. And then I got a piece of metal I need to weld in here. So I'm going to cut that off, clean this metal up a little bit, and get that all welded in. So the bike's coming along pretty well. I'm liking everything that we've done so far. We put that other mount on the swing arm or other brace. We got to drill the holes in the engine plate to bolt the rear of the engine up, because the front has the slots in that original engine plate, but we're going to just have to line that up and try to mark it the best we can. Some more stuff we have to do is we got to get that jack shaft all buttoned up next time. We do have those washers all welded up to make our spacers. Now I'm going to have to make another set of those too for Lonnie's bike. We're pretty much doubling everything we're doing. We already have his jack shaft, and he needs to order a pillow block. There's still a lot of stuff to do on his, when his new frame gets here. But Lonnie is still getting a new frame. Dre down at ECCW Choppers is sending that to us, and we couldn't be more thankful, man. You've been awesome.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, during this whole build, the guy's been an amazing help with the pictures he sent us to, tell me about this hub, how it threads right onto the wheel. I wouldn't have known about that without Dre.
And we're learning all this stuff on this bike, so when mine does get here, it should go by quick.
Yeah,
we'll have all the parts and everything.
Yeah, we'll have the motor mount. I'm going to go ahead and get his motor mount ready, so we just got to cut that pipe out, weld the new motor mount section in, and then cut these the same way we did this. But we're going to wait, because I'm sure these are different. All these bikes aren't perfectly the same, but gas tank's mounted. It's really starting to look like a bike now. I didn't get the grips, me installing the grips on camera. Figured that's pretty straightforward. I did have to do some custom stuff with this bolt that puts these mirrors on here. I wish I would have showed you that. I actually I couldn't find a bolt long enough to do what I need to do, so I had to actually cut the head off another bolt, weld it on there. But it worked out nice. She's starting to look awesome. So let us know what you think about this chopper build in the comment section below. I think it's turned out pretty awesome. I'm getting pretty excited to ride this thing to work.
I'm getting excited for mine to get here.
Lonnie's going to be a little bit different, not too different though. We got a lot of stuff in store for this one that y'all don't know about yet. I'm still figuring it all out before I reveal everything, but it's going to be pretty much a true motorcycle when I get done with it.
Oh yeah. We still got to figure out though what we're going to do with this plug right here to add oil. It's going to be in the way as it sits, so we're going to have to figure something out with that.
Yeah, and what I'm probably going to end up doing is removing this motor. You know, I can run this oil for 20 hours. It'll be fine to, you know, for the first 20 hours. But when we pull it off to change the oil, I'm probably going to drill a hole in the top up here or something just to add a new oil fill. So we basically delete both of those. It takes half quart of oil, so, you know, we don't have to worry about checking oil. If it isn't leaking, it's most likely got oil in it. That's the way I'm going to kind of treat it. And you can buy these little oil tubes that bolt to the oil drain on the back of the engine that you can, you know, pretty much hang off the frame right there. So that's how I'm going to do it for, you know, after I drill the hole, wherever I end up putting the oil fill, it'll be able to drain and fill the oil with the motor on the bike. I definitely don't want to be removing the engine every 20 hours to change the oil. But next episode we'll try to get, it should be running, I would think. We're not far from. I don't
see too much that would keep us from riding it down the road.
I mean, we got to drill those holes, which will take just a few minutes, and then get that jack shaft all figured out, which, I mean, it's pretty much figured out. I just need to line everything with that new sprocket.
Another thing, we still haven't figured out how we're going to do the
exhaust. Yeah. And you know, for time being, we can make something that's just going to work, but I do have a real nice muffler to go on this. I'm going to probably run down to a machine shop here that can bend 1-inch pipe, and they're going to bend me a real sharp, you know, kind of 90, and I have a piece of heat shield to put on it and everything. So yeah, don't forget to go Power Sports and get all your go-kart parts from them. They've been an awesome help. They sent us the motor, torque converter, engine plate, jack shaft, all kinds of stuff to support us with building this bike. Use that discount code REDBEARD to save 10%. And make sure to check the links in the description below where you can find anything that I put on this bike. There's a lot of links from Amazon for these mirrors, these grips, this little signal light and headlight switch. And that helps the channel out if you buy from those links, and every little bit helps because these builds are getting a little expensive.
Yeah.
This one's more than you would think. I'll give the total amount spent on this at the end of the build, but she ain't cheap, that's for sure.
No.
I'm doing it right. So, but guys, make sure to check us out on Instagram and Facebook. Give us a like and follow there, where you'll get, you know, inside scoops on all these projects. You'll get to see them before the video's out. On YouTube, and we're going to be doing some Facebook only giveaways and some Instagram only giveaways very soon. And yeah, we will be in Texas on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So if you live near Go Power Sports, it's in Keller, Texas. Come down on the 22nd, and we'd love to hang out with you. Me and Lonnie will both be there.
Yep.
Pretty excited.
Pretty excited about that.
That's going to be awesome. First time flyer right here, so scared of heights, so Lonnie's probably going to have to cradle me on the plane, rock me to sleep.
That's okay.
Pet me. But it's not going to be that bad. I'm not too worried about it. But I'll have all my gear down there. We're going to try to film some awesome videos. But definitely if you're around the area, come down. I'll have some stickers to give out and some stuff. So make sure to come see us and check out Go Power Sports' new warehouse. But we will be racing some go-karts on a track.
It's a pretty well-known track. I forget the name of it too, but...
Yeah, I'll have links in the description of what track we'll be at, and come race with us if you live close to. You know, I'm going to be handing out spankings all day on the track. You know, so just line up and get ready to receive them. But guys, thank you for watching the channel. Thank you for helping us grow to over 13,000 subscribers, and always come back to Redbeard's Garage.
We're out.